Good evening everyone, welcome back to Formula Sim Series for the Champions Cup, and we're here for round 4 here at USA Texas COTA. Hope you are doing well, and this track is 5.5 kilometers with 20 turns. We are here for the 18-minute session, then we'll move on to the 50% race later on then. So early stages are qualifying, then you'll see some people go out on the medium runs to get a feel for the track, then eventually we'll get the soft runners in, and I'm not quite sure if more people will join in after that, as well as there are 50 drivers here. But we've got our first appearance then coming out of the track. It's the Aston Martin drivers then who are going to be the first ones out on the track, and the LP behind him as well, followed by McLaren. So we'll go on board then. I think it is Jack Humphries in the Aston Martin there, as you can see from the terrible camera angle that everybody seems to comment on. Don't worry, there's only got a few months left of this game, so hopefully you won't see that if you are sticking with me in the future. But yeah, Jack Humphries then. It was the wet race last time at the British GP, and I think one of the Mercedes drivers went on to win the race. He was untouched as well, or was the Mercedes drivers? I think it was Zander who, well, it wasn't Zander, he wasn't racing last week, but it was definitely one of the Mercedes who won that British GP, and it was wet as well. We saw a battle between those two with Rudy and the Mercedes driver. I should probably best if I find out first, shouldn't it, before I call him the Mercedes driver, but it was definitely one of those drivers. But yeah, it was a full wet British GP last time. It was a dry qualifying session, then translated into a wet race. A lot of people struggled in that wet race. It was so difficult to overtake around there. Not even people could even get close on the straight, but nevertheless we are here at in the circuit of the Americas, approaching down into turn number 12 then in these slow speed corners. You can be really careful through here as well, because the tyres will be very hot at this stage. Very easy to lose the car, especially through these traction zones as well. Coming out this corner, you don't want to go too deep in there, because you've got to run up to the triple right hander, the long right hander. We saw Max Verstappen undertake Kimi Raikkonen there back in 2017, I believe. He got kicked off the podium at the very last moment, but here we are then, on board with Jack Humphries as he makes his way around that final corner, taking a very wide line to go straight immediately then. DRS enabled for one of the first of the two DRS zones, and we'll see what Jack Humphries can do then. We're good up into turn 1 uphill, off camera as you can see they're braking at the black box, using all the track available to him. Slightly missing the first corner, but as is early stages of the qualifying session, expect the tyres to improve. Hugging turn 2, very easy. Turn 3 and turn 4 now, fully flat out for turn 3 and turn 4. Slight lift off through here, tap on the brakes, and you can see him using all the curb there. A bit too much for Jack, unfortunately, and sadly for him, has invalidated his first run then, so I think he'll back out that one and go for another one. His teammates right behind him coming on to the first corner, but I think we saw an RP, and I think it was Harm. No, he's in the Williams, apologies about that. It was FVA then coming towards turn number 11, very crucial to get this one right. Goes in their 4th gear. I noticed a lot of people use different lines and gears through there, so you can go down to 3rd or 2nd gear, then almost shift into 4th immediately, but some people stay in 4th gear. As FVA then gets a really good tow off his teammate Bolan, so make our way down then into the heavy braking zone, lock up on entry, taking a lot of curb on the entry of the corner. And let's see then, into this right hander we go then, 4th gear, kisses the apex, all shifted to reduce the wheel spin, very easy to lose traction through here. Into this left hander we go then, sweeping in, you can see him lock up through there, but still makes the corner. The car rotating very nicely on the front end, and making our way now through the triple right hander then. And we're coming up to turn 19, you can't take the IndyCar line through here, otherwise you'll validate. Use a lot of curb on entry, leading it out on the rest of the track as we make our appearance then into the final corner. First lap time set is going to be a 30.8, I believe, and it puts him top of the pecking order. Let's see if anybody behind him can challenge that. And main competitive coming across the line. The Dutch Missile is racing this week. He goes into 2nd place, a second off, but hopefully he finds more time in the bag. Rudy coming towards the line to start his first flying lap. Everybody's giving each other a slipstream, and one of the AlphaTauris, they just crossed the line to start their laps. Looks like the AlphaTauri is just invalidated, unfortunately for him, and Joey is up into P2 with a 31.2, 2/10 clear of Lewis in P3 there. The Ferrari driver representing LFR, Toxic Tomato as well, is his teammate. Leo, nice to see him back racing. He won the Mexican Grand Prix for TF. A very nice victory for Leo indeed. He managed to pull out a 3-second gap over Rudy, despite Rudy not picking up any penalties. OP goes into 2nd place with a 30.9, a few hundred slower than FVA. As we make our way then into the penultimate corner, Let's see what Leo can set on the tire boards. Making our way into that final corner now. Be very careful to let's back end here and validate as well. It's a 31.0 and he pops himself into P3 then. Let's see if any more times to go to the ball. Looks like Jack Humphrey's gone for a second lap, but looks like he's backed out of that one. Harm coming into turn number 10. OP Reiki is out there on a flying lap with a 24.6 in the first sector. Where's the RP to Boland then? Boland making his way towards turn 19, but hesitant going into there, had to change the steering. And let's see, they're coming into the final corner. Let's see what lap time he's got the ball. Might have cost him a little bit of time in that penultimate corner there, but doesn't look like it's a representative with a 31.7, I dare say. FBA smashed it up there with a 30.8, very comfortable. But somebody looks like there's quite a few yellow flags. I thought somebody went for a spin down there, and the TT driver is headed back into the pit lane there with Harm yet to set a lap time as he makes his way then around the penultimate corner, turn 19. Running out wide on the exit there, as you can do. Try not to invalidate. Don't get too greedy as well on this inside curve. Coming towards the line of keys to the back end, just unsettled a little bit, and he sets the time with a 31.2, and he's done 2 lap times on those set of soft compound tyres. This track, it is very, very powerful with the undercut around here, and especially the alternate strategies. Well, medium softs could play very handy. Let's see who quite consider it when the qualifying session ends. But OP Reiki then puts his Alfa Romeo in first place, and he takes the exact same lap time as FEA. Wow. But I wonder why OP Reiki went quickest, because I thought the rule was whoever set that lap time first stays on pole. I remember back in Bahrain, I think it was like 2017 or 18, one of the drivers set the fastest times first, and the other one got knocked out of Q1 despite having the fastest time then. So yeah, that's very interesting then. I wonder how the game works, or if it's I don't know about it. But OP Reiki then quickest with a 30.17 along with FEA, the 2 quickest drivers out there with a 30.8. Looks like Rudy then has backed out of his lap, and he's headed back in the pit lane because he hasn't got enough fuel to go out, well, stay on this set and go on another run then. So we've got a few people out there on our lap. Toxic Tomato representing LFR. Got Jack Humphreys in there as well, P13 on his out lap. So 4 drivers that haven't set a lap time yet. One of them is Toxic Tomato, who rounds the final corner. Now let's see what lap time he can set in the Ferrari as he makes his way towards the DRS zone. DRS enabled there. We might see some first corner passes. You can overtake up here into turn 1, but would you want to wait down into turn 11 as we make our way into that first corner then? Kissing the inside curb, getting on throttle immediately there, and turn 2, you just want to hook that inside curb. Going into turn 3 there, flat out through turn number 3 and turn 4. Lift off through there, turn 5, and using all of the curb there. Unfortunately, Toxic Tomato has used too much of it, and sadly that lap time will not be registered as he has validated it. So a lot of people there struggling in the first part of the track, not surprisingly of course, because you want to use all the track you get away with, but sadly for him that was a bit too much, and the game has given him a validation there. So Jack Humphreys then, let's see what he can do on his second lap on a different set of tyres. He was on board with him the first time round, but he validated that lap time. Making his way towards the line as we go uphill into turn number 1. There's a car ahead of us, but hopefully they get out of the way, which they do. That was a Red Bull, wasn't it? Can't quite tell, but I think it was a Red Bull. Did Jack Humphreys there, did he go a little bit too wide? I'm not quite sure. Did have a massive lockup though going into turn number 1. Going into turn 3, turn 4, the change in directions. Incredible around here. And unfortunately for the second consecutive lap time, he has invalidated it, so that lap time will not count. But luckily for him, he's invalidated the first set away. He hasn't taken too much tyre life out of those tyres, so I think he might go again on the same set, or he might opt to go on the last set of tyres. But you don't want to leave it too, well, you don't want to go too early in the last set because of track evolution. So Jack Humphreys there, unfortunately for him, is on the back foot along with Toxic Tomato, who's going for a second lap, but as you can see there, he's gone for a spin as the rears just will not cope with his braking. Did he lock the rears up? Unfortunately for him, got a bit too deep, and sadly for him, has ended his lap time in turn number 1. That's a massive shame there for him then. So I don't think, will he use the set of tyres, because he did spin in turn 1, but I don't think he'll take too much life out of his tyres. I want to go on board with the Alpine in P2 to see where he is. 110 up there in the first sector. That's his teammate right ahead of us, as you can see there. Bowler giving a nice slipstream then as we make our way along this straight. We will see plenty of opportunities for overtaking. 320 kilometers an hour about 200 miles per hour, say, as we make our way into the heavy breakers and lock up an entry, but that won't affect him too much. Use another truck on the outside, and he improves almost by 2/10. As we make our way then in this third sector, can be a little bit difficult where the tyres are definitely at their best in terms of temperature. Lock up there didn't quite meet up with the apex into turn number 15, so might have lost a little bit of time. But let's see then how much time he can gain in this last sector as we make our way into the penultimate corner, using all the curb, but sort of unfortunately too much of it. And I don't think FVA can go for a second consecutive lap time because he hasn't had a chance to cool the tyres down. It would have been a 30.6 quickest, but sadly for him it was an illegal lap time. Leo then coming towards turn 15. McLaren in the way, hopefully then affect him too much as he gets out of the way. Rudy currently sat down there in P4 on his outlap as we make our way then into that penultimate corner. Let's see what the Alfa Romeo driver can set as we make our way now into the final corner. Then we've got a few more people on their lap. Leo's just got 5th place in the Red Bull, and Fusio goes into P1 with a 30.6 then, 2/10 clear, almost 2/10 clear of OP Reiki. I think it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2 as his teammate right behind him is started another flying lap then. Currently on par with FVA in P3 there. Rudy looks like he's validated it in turn 1, it seems. He's going for a flying lap, he was out lap a few seconds ago, so compromised it already into turn 1. Dutch Missiles out there 1.2, so he's not on a lap time. Joey is not on a lap time either. CC Brain is coming towards turn number 11 now, has a lockup and slightly missing the apex there, so it might cost him a little bit of time. I might make it back up due to his Alfa Romeo AlphaTauri teammate giving a lovely tow down the straight, pulls out to the left hand side. And let's see then how he tackles this heavy braking zone. Could be very careful not to misjudge it, otherwise you'll go out wide. Using a lot of curb on the entry, you can cut that corner, get away with it, and it's invalidated. Apologies about that, I didn't know he's invalidated it. So his lap time is done and dusted. Julian there, one of the 4 drivers who have not set a lap time, along with Taxi tomorrow to Jack Humphries, Betuk's Eye and Julian himself, as he makes his way towards turn number 1 then. Nice exit from him. Doesn't hook that inside curve into turn 2. Going into turn 3 and turn number 4. Harm has just got up into 4th place in that Alpine. Good lap time from him. I think it was the Williams actually, he's not the Alpine. I get a bit confused with the colours. But Julian there looks like he did have the best of first sectors then as he lost momentum coming through there. Didn't get on the right lines, unfortunately for him. As we'll make our way then down into turn number 10, I believe. Kissing the apex there, he gets a really good exit. His teammates right there to give him a slipstream. So a lot of teams here working really well with each other. We've seen this plenty of times, like so back in Britain, we saw definitely in Belgium. I think we did it in Austria as well. Mexico for sure. There's a massive long straight down at Mexico. Julian then not really taking all his curb available to him, and it's a 1.4 in that middle sector then. And this is the part I love to see in the race. It's very interesting to watch the cars go side by side through here, and the fight continues possibly all the way down to T16, 17, 18 and 19. That's how good this track is. We've seen plenty of fights here before, and now we're making our way into the penultimate corner where Grosjean spun all those years ago. Don't go too wide, otherwise you will invalidate as we make our way then into the final corner. And let's see what lap time he can set in the Red Bull. It's a 31.1 then, so he puts that Red Bull in 8th place. Looks like he was struggling a little bit on that lap, so there's plenty more time in hand for the Ferrari to improve. But Lewis then unfortunately has invalidated his lap time. Both Ferraris outside the top 10 so far. Toss it to Motto, not set a lap time just yet unfortunately, so let's see if he can set a lap time. But Alfa Romeo 1-2, they're looking really strong with P1 and P2. We're just waiting for our main competitors to get out the garage. But Joey unfortunately has invalidated his lap time, and he's run out of fuel as well. But I think there's plenty of time to get back into pit lane and stick on that last set of the fresh soft compound tyres. Let's see then. I wonder how the strategy plays out. Will people at the front decide to go with the medium compound tyres? Be very interested to see how it all pans out once we end the qualifying session. What would you do if you started first place? Would you start the medium compound tyres, fearing that people around you will start the softs? Seen it before. I think the top 2 go on the mediums, and the rest of them go, not rest of them, but people like 3rd, 4th, 5th go on the soft compound tyres, hoping to make up as much ground as they can before they put on that brand new set of the medium compound tyres. But the ultimate strategy around here is very powerful. Witnessed it in loads of races, been done it myself as well. People might have to watch out for that as well. We'll see a massive DRS trade until it breaks up. the undercut around here is very powerful, so some of those might want to consider it. If they are in the train, it could help them leapfrog their rivals who are on the pit lane that one lap later. And Joey then crawls his way back into pit lane, so main rivals then are out in force and ready to start their final flying laps. We'll go aboard with FVA first to see how he does on his potential last flying lap. Came out very early it seems, but just in case they invalidate their first lap, they always have that second lap to go for, so that's maybe not for some of the drivers. I just looked at the time, I thought it was 3 minutes, that's why we had loads of yellow flags out there. So there's actually 1 minute and 30 left, so I don't think any of these guys will have a second chance at it, just in case they validate the first then. So last crucial lap then for FVA by as he makes his way then towards turn number 1, uphill, off camber. Let's see how he approaches this then, kissing the apex, hooking up the corner really nicely then, back end not complaining, coming into turn 2, hugging that inside curve there as we make our way now into turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 and turn 6, going into turn 7, a double right-hander there, didn't use a lot of curve on turn 6, coming into turn 7, swinging it through turn 8, using a lot of curve through there in 5th gear, turn 9 with a Sebastian Vettel suspension brake, coming into turn 10. That was a decent first sector there from FVA by, coming into turn 11 there, braking about 70 metres, kissing the inside curb, use the throttle to rotate the car, and there's his teammate there right ahead of him to give him a slipstream. But Boland, 35 seconds left in the session. I don't know if he's going to have time to go for a flying lap, Boland. He has to really push on his out lap. I don't know, maybe Boland in P12 has sacrificed his quality for his teammates' benefit. 20 seconds left to go in the session. I'm not quite sure if Boland's going to get a lap time here. Unfortunately, 31.7. There's still 3 drivers yet to set a lap time, so he could find himself down at P15, Boland. Now Bai is making his way through the triple right-hander. Now coming into turn number 19, then swings the car in, using all the truck on the outside. Now into turn 20, qualifying is over, so Boland will not get a lap time in, unfortunately for him, as Bai then makes his way towards the line. What's he going to be? It's a 30.4, and that's the time everybody has to beat then, so the next driver to cross the line is DRP, but he's not on a lap time. Where is Rudy? One of the McLarens just set a lap time, that was the Dutch Missile. Dutch Missile is in P8, but Rudy then, sadly for him, his qualifying is done and dusted. Or is it a timing glitch? No, it's a timing glitch. Apologies about that. Yeah, I was a bit confused there because nobody's actually got the checker flag next to the name. So massive apologies about that one. It's happened to me twice in a row now. That's actually happened. So looks like they'll get their lap times in. The likes of Boland, who's currently in the first sector by 10th up. One of the Red Bulls coming towards the line. And Jack Humphries has popped himself into P2. Where's Leo going to go? P2 ahead of the Alpha Mate, who's currently on his lap time. Or is he? No, he's not actually. He is actually backed off, so he's not on a lap time, so that's his qualified done and dusted then. Presuming that I don't know how much time we've got actually left in the session. But Jack Humphries there, the first set to go for a consecutive lap time. You don't want to be doing that because you will not find any time, because the car will constantly slide around, because you want to get the optimal temperature, optimum window, sorry, for one lap. You can't be going for a second consecutive lap time. It just won't work. And sadly the AlphaTauri driver looks like he's had a mistake there, but CC Brain then is right behind him to get a lovely tow. And Toxic Tomato has retired from the session, so we won't see him out there. His Ferrari teammate Lewis has invalidated his lap time. And let's see then who's next to cross the line. I want to go on board with Rudy, but Boland's gone quickest with a 30.4. Here comes Rudy then, as he makes his way towards the final corner. Let's see what lap time he's got in store. Now McLaren sliding his way to the final corner. It's a 30.7. He pops himself into P7. His teammate's got in the pit lane. Next to cross the line is the Ferrari driver, but he's invalidated his lap time, unfortunately. So CC Brain then is next to cross the line, makes his way around that penultimate corner. Can he beat Boland's 30.4? Now making our way into that final corner. Let's see what lap time he's got. It's going to be a 31.11. It's P11 only for the AlphaTauri driver. And let's see then, the other AlphaTauri is in the pit lane. Is anybody out there to take pole position away? Leo, what's he doing? No, he's in the pit lane. So I think that's qualifying over. Julian's P11 with a 31.1. Under normal circumstances, that would be the best place to start on a brand new set of medium compound tyres, but that's not the case, because we're going to get a new lobby up and they can start whatever tyres they want to. But Julian would have been in the best place if it was a normal league situation. And that is qualifying done and dusted. So both our P-ins in P1 and P2, Leo in P3, Raiki in P4. I do apologise if I do say your name wrong. Please correct me in the chat if I am saying it wrong. That's probably why I'm not saying most of these names. I'll read the comments very shortly. Hopefully nobody's talking about the camera angles. Good effort there from Jack Humphries in P7. Leo, good effort on his return. Our P1 and 2, Bolin and FEA by doing a very good job up there, so can they keep it up in the race? Will they split strategies because they're P1 and P2? Would they go on the mediums? Would they go on the softs? Which one of them will go on the different tyres? Or will they both start on the same tyres? Just probably pit one lap later, which is not ideal, especially with a track like this, where the undercut is extremely powerful around here. Both Alfa Romeos are there as well in P4 and P5. Just waiting for an invite, then we should be going soon. Bit embarrassing there. You saw me try and leave the session 3 times. Unfortunately, I'll have to restart the game, so I'll be right back in about 3 or 4 minutes time.